It's a good day in Kellyville. I am one happy camper. With the roof on, we are now turning what I think is a very major corner with this renovation project. I'll be telling you about what we are doing to get this house ready for inspection before year end. And we also have some important house guests. People is asked to come here all the time, but you know as the old people say, wait, you put sand in here? If you put sand in here, you could come. So my friends from Barbados Steel Works are coming because a number of you asked questions about roofing. And of course, they're the pros. They should answer you. And we've been working together on this project. So, of course, they want to see what it is that I want to do with the place. I'm Kelly Johnley, and this is Bajan Renovation. Well, as you can see, we have a roof, and at this point it's to be referred to as the most handsome roof in Barbados, not the roof on the house, the most handsome roof in Barbados. There's also a lot going on inside. Some more changes are going to be made, but I mentioned we have guests coming from Barbados Steel Works, Melissa Gibbons and Kenrick Graves. So I'm going to go and, sweep them up before they come. So we're standing in what used to be the garage. You may remember there was a wall here with a window, and you actually entered the house through this side door. So a part of increasing the square footage, or should I say the livable square footage of the house, was to reclaim the garage. So in doing that, we removed the wall. Good evening to Republic Bank. We removed the wall, removed the window, but we also would have brought the floor level of the garage up to the floor level of the house, so you can have one even surface. Now, as we charge towards year end, one of our closeout activities will be the block work. We will be doing block work here. We'll have a double door here, block work here. We are going to seal in this side of the wall, and we'll also be doing the block work at the front of the garage and be placing our frame for our front door there. So one of the questions you ask is, what is the plan for this space? So yes, it will serve as the entrance of the house, but this house will at some point double as what I call a working house. So we are going to seal up this wall, which means no, I'm not putting in a window for two reasons. One, I don't need it for natural light. Two, I'm only looking into my neighbor's wall. And three, from time to time, those of us who work in videography or photography spaces know that we do need spaces to film and to take photos, and you need an open space like this. So the area that I am facing is where a production team can set up. Hey Shaka, and then you can set your sofas, your interview chairs in this area. So all I really want right here is a smooth surface. Of course, I will have my living furniture, but I wanted a space that would ultimately be flexible and serve another purpose as needed. So with the electricals in, our next activity is to pass a mop through the place, as the old people would say, to pass a broom. We're actually going to clean up. We're going to clean up all of the debris, remove the scaffolding, because we need to clean up the walls as well to get it ready to be slicked. We are not at what I would call finishing stages here, but we're preparing the rest of the house now for finishing. So after the electricals are done, going to do a big clean, a big sweep up, clear out everything, and we are going to get these walls slicked. And you know what happens after that. So Mr. Graves, for the benefit of us who may not be standing here and feeling the coolness that was so foreign to this house before, what is it about making a roof higher that makes a space cooler?
Well, the thing is that the higher the roof, the better it is. And that's simply because hot air rises. And the roof of the house, the higher it goes, you make more room, more space, and it keeps the house a whole lot cooler.
I'm actually very surprised by it. I remember before we even discussed making the roof higher, the house always felt hot, almost like stuffy. And now you're walking through here and it's like is this the same place? Now, I know most people wouldn't raise a roof unless they were removing the whole roof. What are some of the telltale signs for if a roof needs to be changed?
Well, for sure you would start to, in some instances, what you will see is some leaks. The chances you will see leaks. So if you don't see the actual leak, you would see damp spots. You start to see damp spots coming through, and that's where the leak is starting from the top, from between the sheet and the T111 or whatever you use there, and then damp spots would appear.
Okay, I know we spoke a bit off camera because changing a roof is a big project, and you were saying that even if you see a damp spot, it does not necessarily mean to change a roof. It is time for an inspection.
That's absolutely correct, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Because a lot of us, I mean, let's take into consideration, you know, you build a house, you live in the house 10 years, 15 years, you don't have an issue, so you don't go on the roof.
Even so, we don't know what we're looking for.
Absolutely correct. So you don't necessarily need to change the whole roof in any home. You just need to change a board here, a board there, a sheet of galvanized here. So you don't necessarily need to change
take
the
it
whole
off.
roof.
So I know roofs tend to have a pretty long lifespan. I don't think many people go through the experience of taking off a roof in its entirety. Most people tend to do it as needed, correct?
Yes, that's absolutely correct.
Unless it's a natural disaster or you buy a house that looks like it had its own disaster. Roughly the lifespan of a roof, is it determined by the type of materials, the location? What influences how long your roof lasts?
In many instances, I mean, if you're looking at galvanized, for instance, in many instances it depends on the location of the house.
Okay.
The closer you are to the seaside, the more chances you would have of the roof deteriorating
As I've heard.
much quicker.
Okay. I heard something, and tell me if it's true, because until I went to Barbados Steel Works and saw that the panels were coated, it never crossed my mind that everybody's roof was not silver, right? So my roof is white. Is there, outside of the aesthetics, because fortunately or unfortunately, we ladies like to jump straight to colors. You know, we ain't care what you're doing, you know, what color is it going to be? But there's some benefits to having the color coating.
Yes, there are benefits. The color coating adds a coat on to the silver, as you would call it, and they use silver for the layman purpose, but the unpainted aluminum, as we would say. And it's treated, there's a treatment it goes through. So, in other words, you can't hop up top of a roof and hold a skillet in one hand, as we would say, and a brush in another hand. And I've seen that happen before, and then it came out like a giraffe at the end of the day. So the coating on the roof gives the roof a much longer lifespan, and at the end, it ends up thicker.
And here I just thought that the roof was pretty. Look at me making sound and wise decisions without even trying. Okay, so I have my roof now and I'm so pleased with it. Now, when it comes to an inspection, obviously the likelihood of the homeowner going up on their roof to inspect their roof is very slim. This is something for a contractor, for an engineer, for a valuer, because I don't want to be sending y'all up on y'all roofs to go and start looking for anything, because y'all don't know what y'all are looking for, okay? Who is supposed to check this roof for us?
Well, it depends on your objective. I would not recommend for sure that you go up on the roof for me to climb a ladder and go on the roof. But usually when you have an issue like that, you would find the customers usually go back to the person who would have built the house.
Okay.
And a question, they would come, have a look, they would inspect, make their recommendations, and there you go from there.
Okay, so let's say now most people will be trying to fix a part of our roof. Who is to do this measuring and provide you with the information that you need?
Oh, certainly the workman.
So not me, you sure? Because I have a really good tape measure right now, you
most
know.
Definitely the builder, beyond the shadow of a doubt, because the person who's going to do the work, they will measure the sheets, they will measure any lumber that's necessarily required, and they'll give you and off you go.
Because what surprised me is that I was here for the delivery of the roof material, and for some reason, I just expected all the sheets to come at the same length. I don't know what I thought was going to happen, but you know, should come at the same length. But no, you could see that there were several different sizes, there were angles, and I was like, oh, somebody talked to somebody on my behalf, because you know, they'd have gone in there and said, need 10 sheets and done. So it is more technical than just the amount of sheets that you need. It is the dimensions.
It is the dimensions that are given. On Barbados Steel Works, we deliver sheets next day, latest, depending on...
I know this for sure.
That's for sure. So you can bring a measurement, bring your dimensions in the morning, and you can have your sheets the following day. I'll repeat, the following
No, I
day.
can attest to that, because I mean, I could say it now that the roof is on. So my foreman Ryan, he would send me the measurements for what he needs from Steelworks. He will send it to me in the morning. And if you think Kelly remembered to send the information, she did not. So what you get, right, is this very this 3:45. But listen, look, I just sent you a WhatsApp. If you could send these things to me, and then the things would come the next day, and I was like, yeah, I sorted it out. Yeah. Of course, I'm on top of this. But that I did find very surprising, how quickly materials were available. Because I guess it just seems, when you look at roofing materials and you look at the size of your bond, or all the things that y'all have in there, is like, you mean I could get out my little order? Okay, thanks. The next day, I appreciate it.
Yes, we do carry a wide range of building materials.
Yes.
I mean, a whole wide range. So most of everything for the roof.
I don't think I had to go anywhere else for anything concerning this roof, to be honest. Everything, even things that I did not see, you know, I was able to say, let me just forward the WhatsApp, because I want to call it wrong. Do you have any of these? Yes, they're coming out now. They're on their way to the showroom. I'm like, okay, apparently we need 12. Please, whenever it comes, you know, but I didn't have to go anywhere else for anything for the roof.
That's our pleasure and our aim at Barbados Steel Works. We do one-stop shopping, so we won't have you running all around for sure. We do all. We do the roofing sheets, we do the T111, we do the beaded ply, we do the hurricane straps.
I got my hurricane straps, and I now know how they work. So
Good.
I was very pleased about that. I felt very smart when I saw them going in, because you always hear people say, put in the straps before you put on the roof. And I just never knew where these straps went. But now I saw that before they poured the concrete, after they did the block work and before they poured the concrete, you saw all these little metal things sticking up. All these little sticking up on the perimeter of the house. So I was like, what is that? And Ryan was like, the straps you were talking about last week, Kelly. I was like, okay. But then they pour the concrete, so they're now firm. And then the beams go in and they lap over. And I was like, oh, that is how it works. And now I see why they say you're supposed to have hurricane straps, because it really does anchor the roof to the structure of the house. Okay, great. I feel very informed, and I hope you do as well. So guys, I have to introduce you to Melissa, right? So Melissa is the unsung hero of this project, but I need you to see Melissa's outfit. I want you to know Melissa knew that she was coming on a work site. And I want you to know that Melissa working at Barbados Steel Works is being surrounded by all sorts of wood and dust. And this is how Melissa is like all the time here. So if we had to make her run for it, I don't know how she can make her run for it. But Melissa is not giving up the fabulous fight. Melissa is being on point regardless. But the service was also on point, because as I had said, to me this seemed like a very daunting aspect of the work, and it turned out to be very uneventful as far as replacing a roof can go. So just for the benefit of anybody saying, okay, how do I do business with you? Yes, I know that when it comes to things like measurements, we need a professional. That we're not to take our tape measure and measure the house.
Definitely.
No one wants our measurements, guys. But the question then is, as a homeowner, I know that I used to get sent to the shop, you know? Yes, the bulk of the stuff is here, but you're going to get the Kelly, we need some of this, some of that. Who am I interacting with at Steelworks if we're purchasing the materials from you?
Okay, so if you're purchasing the materials, well, you can call us or you can come into our showroom and deal with one of our sales representatives. So if you come in, you can go to our customer center. You tell them, well, okay, I have this list of materials that I got from my contractor and I need to get a quotation for my roof. They work out the quotation for you. You get the quote in your hand. And yes, you can decide if you want to pay for your materials right there and then, or if you want to go home, discuss it with your significant other, your contractor as well, to make sure that this is everything that you wanted, and yeah, then you can go from there.
And in terms of payments, we facilitate online payments. I have to come in because, you know, one thing, they call you when exactly when they need it. Like, they can be up on the roof about to drill and be like, we need another panel, and I'm like, you could have told me so this morning though.
Yes.
I can call in. How do we pay you?
Okay, so you can pay in store, or you can we also offer COD, cash on delivery transactions. Okay. So you can pay cash on delivery, or you can do a bank transfer. Okay. So you can transfer the payment and we treat it as it's paid in store and we deliver the items to you.
Okay, perfect. So I know that I worked with you, but for those of us, most of us who like a little hand holding, we can all have a person. So like in customer service, once, you know, Jane Doe comes in and she sets up her account, she will have somebody that she can call that will hold her hand through her process.
Definitely. We have a specific department assigned for projects.
For hand holding.
Yes.
You call it projects.
You call it hand
holding. The hand holding department.
Yes, so that you will be assigned, you will know your person by name, you can call them, you will have access to their cell number, you can WhatsApp or call them anytime you need any material. And
also,
yes,
it was again special treatment. This is just the treatment.
Yes.
Okay, all right, good to know.
They will sort of everything for you.
All right, well, I can certainly attest that this was smoother than I expected, because, especially because the bank shouted at me. After the bank shouted at me for looking down the place, right, and then tell me I need to put on the roof, I remember going home, I had to lie down. They nearly never get a show that weekend. I had to go and lie down because I was like, oh my gosh. And it just was not the complicated, drawn-out, miserable process that I expected. And I mean, I don't plan to walk around the place, you know, changing roofs. But, you know, if a roof needs to be changed, you could show me. I'm just saying, I know a few things now. Thank you.
Yes, you sound like a pro.
You know, I know a few things now, you know. We can have a conversation about why your roof needs to be coated. Well, needless to say, I am very happy and quite relieved, to be honest. I know, well, I told you a few weeks ago when we were discussing having to close up the property, we did not have a roof. And along with what we were doing behind the scenes for Bloom Bistro and, well, as you all now know, Pivot Magazine, when I say a lot was going on, a lot was going on. I feel so happy now that the most handsome roof in Barbados is on. We have an action plan that is going to take us through to year end. And I am so looking forward to putting on my good clothes and going and visit the bank. Cannot wait. But till then, I'm Kelly Johnley, and this is Bajan Renovation.